Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Che.
And we have some news updates for you from around the land of smiles this Thursday, September 11th. However, before we begin, there's something that's been weighing heavily on my mind, and that is the recent tragic incident that involved the right-wing podcaster, influencer, Charlie Kirk, who was tragically shot and killed yesterday at an event in Utah. Now, I'm speaking today as an American and as someone who does not share a single viewpoint with Charlie Kirk, and in fact, I would argue against his ideas until I was blue in the face. But what happened to him is senseless, and it makes me deeply upset that political violence has such a place in our democracy, and of course I'm speaking about America. Now, it's tempting to point fingers, to assume a motive, but the truth is that this kind of violence often comes from broken individuals whose actions represent no one but themselves. To claim otherwise only fuels the division that is tearing the country apart. Disagreement is not dangerous. It is the lifeblood of a free society. But when disagreement turns into violence, everyone loses. The way to defeat bad ideas is with better ones, through debate, persuasion, and dialogue, not bullets. So today, even as someone who opposed Charlie Kirk's politics, I'm here to say that his death is a tragedy. And if we cannot agree on anything else, let's at least agree on this. Political violence is never the answer. All right. So, with that being said, thank you.
Well said.
I appreciate that. Hopefully, we don't have to give any more speeches like that anytime in the future. So, away from America we go, back to our little corner of the world here in Thailand. Sorry, we have more bad news, Jay, I'm afraid. Today, we will be talking about a tragic accident involving the death of a safari worker by a group of lions. The controversial court ruling over the tragic school bus fire that claimed 23 lives nearly 1 year ago. And hopefully, to offset this day of tragic news, we'll later be bringing you a whole bunch of positive updates from around the kingdom, including good news regarding the tensions between Thailand and Cambodia. Before we begin, though, please remember to subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand. Now, our first story today is about a Bangkok safari worker who was fatally mauled by lions after exiting a vehicle in a restricted zone. So, a 58-year-old zookeeper at Safari World Bangkok was killed by lions after stepping out of his vehicle in the drive-through section where exiting is strictly prohibited. Witnesses described the lions attacking for around 15 minutes while tourists tried to scare them off by honking and shouting, but to no avail. The man, a longtime staff member, reportedly bent down to pick something up, which violated park safety rules. Authorities have since closed the safari zone and launched an investigation into the incident. The tragedy has brought renewed concerns about animal safety protocols and the management of Thailand's growing captive lion population. What a horrifying way to go.
Yeah. Mauled.
Mauled.
What was he doing out there?
I don't know. Group of lions too, like it's just not even one. Not that you would have a chance against one, anyways. But a safari worker, like he's worked there, and he knows the protocols. It's absolutely insane.
And I don't know. A lot of the times, I think they do know what they're doing, and they do feel safe in that environment. Sometimes the animals are used to them being around, but yeah.
It just baffles me.
Logically, it makes sense, right? Like, why would you even be close to there? But yeah, these guys do this for a living, and they kind of have spent years there around those animals. But yeah, I mean, they're still wild animals.
It takes one mistake like this. A lot of questions too. I saw in like comments on Reddit and stuff. Like, what are the conditions of the lions? Like, this is really something. I don't know. Safari parks. These are like you're supposed to be enclosed in a car. I always thought that was more ethical than what I saw in many Asian zoos where you just see like. A skinny tiger shaking in a cage that's just concrete. I've seen that plenty of times. So, yeah, I don't know how this plays into the ethics of animal treatment and things like that, but in any case, it is a tragedy. And, stay in your cars. You're going through those safaris, man.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next story, which is quite a serious story. A court issues suspended sentences in tragic school bus fire that killed 23. A provincial court handed suspended prison terms and fines to a bus garage owner, his daughter, and a driver over a bus fire that killed 23 students and teachers on a school trip. The owners were initially sentenced to 8 years and heavy fines, later reduced due to guilty pleas. The driver also received a halved sentence with a suspended term and reduced fine. All three were placed on probation instead of serving immediate jail time. The ruling has sparked debate over safety oversight and the use of modified gas-powered buses in Thailand.
And questions of justice, like 23 people died, man.
Yeah.
Like children, mostly. And these are the punishments? I can imagine that if I was a family member of one of the victims, that this would not sit well with me.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what kind of recourse there is. Like, again, where's the liability? Where does the buck stop? Because in this situation, it doesn't seem like it stopped anywhere. And we're all just going to move on with it. And these people are,
True.
going to be free and, hopefully not back at it.
Yeah.
And putting more lives at risk. Wild story. And, of course, this tragedy happened nearly a year ago. And apparently this is the conclusion. But we'll see. I imagine some protests might erupt over this. Well, anyways, on to our next story. We're into politics. Hey, Jay, did you know?
Yeah. Tell me.
The Thai politicians are very, very wealthy.
Not all, but most, yeah.
Well, this one is. And I'm talking, of course, about the new Prime Minister, Anutin, who has declared vast wealth, including jets, boats, and historic antiques. Oh, my. Thailand's new Prime Minister, Anutin, has disclosed assets worth nearly 4 billion baht, including 3 private jets, 2 speedboats, luxury properties, and valuable antiques. How many private jets do you need, Jay? His bank deposits, investments, vehicles, and rare collections from a major portion of the declaration. Compared to last year, his declared wealth has dropped by over 400 million. Oh, poor guy, but remains substantial. The declaration came as part of constitutional requirements for transparency following his appointment as Prime Minister. The announcement has reignited discussions about wealth, political power, and public trust in governance.
Hey, don't hit the player, hit the game.
Jesus Christ. 3 private jets?
You know why? Because I can.
I guess. He's balling out, yeah.
No, so look, obviously Anutin comes from a very wealthy family, construction, right? Yeah, they come from a construction background, and they also have huge government contracts. But even before Anutin was politically aligned, he was very, very well off. His entire family, and it's generational wealth, So.
Wrong pipe, sorry.
Whoop. You're right.
Whoops. I have a drinking problem. But anyways.
His money is just making you cough.
I am very upset.
Yeah.
And as someone in the comments said, we're in the wrong line of business, man.
I know a lot of people, for some reason, feel uncomfortable with people in power being extremely rich. I generally think of it as something good. This person has grown up in wealth, understands wealth, and probably knows how to grow wealth, and is smart enough to put himself in this situation, is a great politician. I mean, considering 5 years ago he was a health minister, now being the prime minister, at least he knows how to play the political game.
So I can agree with that in certain aspects, but for me, what I like a lifelong civil servant, man. I like people, because growing a business is very different than running government, right? Like businesses are meant to be for profit, right? The whole point of business is to make the money. Government is not. That's not the purpose of government. Government is to provide, public goods, right? Like, highways, schools, education, things that don't make money, that just cost money. And the administration of those things is very different than the administration of a business. So I don't necessarily think that a lot of those business skills translate to good governance skills as well. So,
well, our former Prime Minister, Prayut Chan-o-cha, was definitely a civil servant and a lifelong military man.
That also has its caveats and pitfalls too. So that nobody makes a good politician. There's no winning. But yeah,
we need someone like Lee Kuan Yew. Is that
the Chinese guy?
Yeah, the Singaporean.
Singaporean. Yeah. Actually,
right? Is it Lee Kuan Yew?
Yeah, they do. They're pretty hardcore in other ways that I don't like. But
he was a hard politician, and he was like,
I remember seeing him give a speech on CNN one time.
What a leader, though,
dude! I was floored by how eloquent and
very good speaker, very good leader, very hard, relentless in his pursuit of what he believes in, and he was like, "It's my way." Whoever, his speech, like, whoever governs Singapore must have the iron. Or the steel, or something like that.
It left a mark on you, apparently.
Yeah, he did. I like leaders like that. They're just like, you know what? You elected me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, whether you like it or not, because I know this is good for the people in the country.
Yeah, that was very much his position. And eloquence goes a long way, man. I like listening to people who have a way with words, and he sure had it. So, but yes, also kind of a dictator too.
Dictators can be good. Look at Singapore now. All right, just look at Singapore as a country. I'm just saying.
As someone who's been to Singapore, I very much prefer Thailand.
Singapore's done well for how small it is as well.
Yeah, I like chewing gum and my freedom of speech and that kind of stuff. So, anyways, well, let's move on. We got our next story. I got some pop culture for you, Jay.
All right, here we go. Zara McDermott shares harrowing encounter while filming BBC documentary in Bangkok. British TV presenter Zara McDermott revealed a frightening moment while filming her documentary in Bangkok when police threatened to arrest her and her team despite the crew holding a valid permit. Now, the team was filming in a red light district when tensions flared with authorities and business owners. At one point, a crew member was struck by an ashtray thrown by a bar operator. The ordeal left the crew fearing both arrest and the loss of their footage. The documentary explores the darker realities behind nightlife in tourism in Thailand and the challenges faced by those working in the sex industry. Well, they were filming the dark side of Bangkok. They found out.
Well, there you go. Ashtray is going to get thrown at your head.
Yeah. A lot of the red light districts, a lot of these bars, and when you go to those areas, they have clear signs saying no pictures, no videos. They don't like being filmed because, yes, prostitution is illegal in Thailand. Do they have the right permits? For a lot of reasons, you're not allowed to film there. So the permits that they probably got to film were probably shooting in that area, not necessarily those private properties that they went inside. And that's possibly one of the reasons that ashtray was thrown. Yeah. That was assault is not okay, but you're not allowed to film there, and they're very sensitive about that anyways.
Absolutely, because it's totally gray area, right? Like that's the thing, and they're you get a permit from the government for the public spaces, but private places, that's their private place. They're and they invite you in, then sure, but
talking about the dark side of Bangkok, they wanted to show the dark side of the fact of the red light district and the sex industry and stuff. This is also a very big part of Thailand where, yes, you can have 100% legal permits and it does not matter. This has happened to me personally when I've worked with production companies before, where you get the permits, you get it in advance, you get it with the right authorization and everything. You get to the location and the security guard's like, nobody informed me. Sorry, you can't shoot here today. And I'm like, no. First, you don't have the authority to decide that. But secondly, I have a permit. It says I can. It says, but nobody informed me, so no.
Yeah. So very wishy-washy it can be.
Or they come in the middle of it and they want your footage. So for whoever watched this video, these guys were quite smart and obviously they're seasoned vets, right? So the police were like, no, we want to see all your footage and we're going to delete all the ones that we think are not okay. But then these guys were like, oh, can we come tomorrow morning? Like, we'll do it tomorrow morning.
And then they bailed.
And then they try to get out of there, which is smart because, they have the rights to their footage. They don't have to give
a lot of people, we have, in the West, we have this very strong sense of journalistic duty and things like that. Like, we want to be able to show things, and even danger of consequences and stuff like that. That kind of philosophy doesn't really exist in East Asia in general. But I think it is something that should. So I don't know. I of course, as a BBC crew, I think it'd be very different if it was a Thai crew going in there and trying to do it for a Thai audience, rather than
It's actually the same. In that one, there's no discrimination. Even with Thai crews, it's just the permits. They just don't care.
Right. Yeah. Weird. Journalism. Tough gig, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do we say? We take a quick Fazwaz break because we haven't done that yet. Actually,
let's do it. I love a good Fazwaz break.
And then we can do some feel good.
Wow, that was a great break. Alex, I'd just like to clarify. I don't like all dictators. I just specified I like Lee Kuan Yew. That's it.
There are things to like about him. I'll give you that. But mostly, I do want to say, if I was looking for a palace for my new regime, I'd be going to Fazwaz.com. Because they have all of the best dictatorial palaces on listings right now. You can go check them out. Just kidding. But if you want to buy, rent, sell anything in Thailand, you should go to Fazwaz.com. So, what do you say we switch up the mood, Jay?
Let's do it.
I think we want to get some feel-good news. I got a lot of feel-good news
Feels
for us.
good, man.
Yeah, can you put up a feel-good man? Show me that guy on the beach. I want to see him.
Feels good, man.
There. Oh, and we're back. There it goes. Okay. I got some good news.
Yeah, what's the good news? Tell me.
Our first
Give it to me,
feel-good
baby.
story. It's about Thailand and Cambodia.
Okay.
Hasn't been a lot of good news when those two are in the headlines lately, but there is today. They have agreed on weapons withdrawal and border reopening. Border runners,
Yay.
rejoice. Thailand and Cambodia have reached an agreement to withdraw troops and weapons from disputed border areas and to work together on landmine clearance. Both countries emphasize the importance of reopening the border to restore trade and improve regional stability. The deal includes steps to ensure safety for civilians in previously militarized zones. Leaders expressed confidence that this move would strengthen bilateral relations and economic cooperation. The agreement is seen as a significant step in easing long-standing tensions along the border. Funny timing this, right after Thai gets out of power and Anutin ascends.
Yeah,
like,
we can get along. Here we go.
very fascinating. I'm not sure if there's any deeper meaning there, but
Then again, negotiations take time.
for sure, who was negotiating? Like Thai was in power. Now it's I don't.
Don't worry about it.
This is one of those things, right? Like this happens in American politics all the time. There's like a lag in policy. So like whenever somebody new administration from a different party comes in, they like blame everything on the previous administration and then vice versa. And it's just a never-ending loop of like, it's the last guy's fault. And anything good that happens that was set up by the last guy. No, I did that. Like, even though the policies were put in place 3 years ago. So I don't know, but it is good news.
Yeah.
I'll just take the lack of firing at each other as a good sign.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next story where Thailand has achieved the top marks in ICAO safety audit after years of reform. What is that, you ask? Thailand recently soared an impressive 91.35% in the International Civil Aviation Organization Universal Safety Oversight Audit. Exciting news. Far above the global average of 70%. Hey.
Big chunk.
Key areas evaluated included legislation, licensing, aircraft operations, airworthiness, aerodrome standards, accident investigation, air navigation services, and regulatory oversight. Whew. The country earned perfect scores in aviation legislation and regulatory organization, two domains directly overseen by the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand. This accomplishment marks a significant turnaround since 2015 when Thailand was issued a red flag by ICAO due to dozens of serious safety concerns and a very low score.
Good news. Yeah.
Our airs might have pollution, but guess what? They're safe to fly.
Yeah, except for Nok Air, according to Chi-Town Air.
Well.
that is true. They got in trouble recently. But I think that's also a sign of the increased safety regulations, right? Like, as soon as there were some red flags with Nok Air, they're like, knock it off.
And it looks like a
down.
bird in the sky.
That's very clever marketing there. But yeah, I think that's the kind of thing like where maybe in the past they'd be like, all right, look, the wing's kind of dangling a little bit. It's fine, just get up there. But they shut it down before any major incidents happened, which is what you want from your aviation system. So kudos to Thailand. That kind of makes me nervous. Global average is 70%. What does that mean? What is?
That doesn't feel too safe. Like, wait a second. But then again, I mean, like, look, I'm just gonna say anybody who calls their airline Bird Air, needs to reevaluate their marketing team. Sounds cool in Thai, but it's like Bird Air.
Bird Air. Why not?
It's like it's like once you know, you just like when when Starbucks called it a chai tea.
It's just you're just saying
no.
TT.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. No.
Fair play. Air.
We've got to draw the line somewhere.
Air. I'd fly them.
All right.
All right. Safe flying, everybody. Well, you mentioned pollution, Jay.
Yeah.
We're trying to do something about it, okay?
Are we?
We are. Apparently, Bangkok is to be designated as a special pollution control zone. Yay! Officials are moving to declare Bangkok a special pollution control zone in response to worsening air quality. The designation would allow stricter regulations on industrial emissions, construction activities, and vehicle exhaust. Authorities plan to expand air quality monitoring and strengthen enforcement of pollution laws. The move is aimed at protecting public health and reducing seasonal smog problems. It also signals a broader effort to make Bangkok's rapid urban growth more sustainable.
Well, slap my face and call me Betty.
Right now?
I wouldn't mind some clean air in Bangkok, but quite a big project to start with. Let's just start with the largest, most polluted city in Thailand, well, technically,
Where else are you going to do it,
technically
really?
Chiang Mai is a bit more, but
it's
yeah.
all the force.
It's like they've even accepted, like, you know what, Chiang Mai is going to be a lot more harder. Let's start with Bangkok.
Yeah, well, dude, I have to say this. I was just talking with someone yesterday at an event, or 2 days ago, and then they were saying Bangkok, for a mega East Asian city, pollution is really not that bad. Like, I've lived in like other major Asian cities that are far worse, I do have to say. So while I do think, like, you know, it's one of those things, just because, you know, children are starving in Africa doesn't mean I can't say I'm hungry, right? Like, there is a pollution problem.
Okay.
Somebody taught me that metaphor, and I can always have it in my mind. But yeah, there's room for improvement, so sure. But it's definitely not as bad as many other places. So let's be a little grateful for that, I think. And the fact that they're trying to address it, right?
Yeah. I'm going to be very grateful today when I have lunch, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our last story, talking about food. Grab supports Thai food sector through new co-payment scheme. I don't know why they keep using the word scheme, but anyways.
Sounds nefarious.
Grab has joined a government co-payment initiative designed to boost the food industry during tough economic times. The scheme allows consumers to enjoy discounts on food deliveries with part of the cost covered by the state. The program is expected to increase demand for food services and encourage spending for small food vendors. It provides a lifeline to stay competitive and reach more customers. The partnership highlights how public and private sectors are working together to support economic recovery. Nice. So during the COVID times, there was that 50-50 where the government, up to, I think it was 250 baht a day, that you can buy food up to 250 baht and the government will pay half of it.
Yeah.
And this is something similar, but through deliveries, Grab deliveries.
Well, you know, it's been in the news a lot lately that the restaurant industry has been suffering with the tourism downturn. And it's one of those big thriving things. Like, it's such a big part of Thai culture, like eating out and not only that, like fine dining restaurants and stuff like that. I'm sure those places are probably not getting, like, this is meant to be targeting at the lower end of the spectrum. Yeah. But, yeah, it's just nice to see. This is what you want to see from governments in terms of policy is like, all right, there's complaints. We hear you. We're going to try something. Yeah. And this is something that I like about Thailand is that they are pretty quick to enact policy. How effective it is is up for debate. Yeah. But
do first, figure out later, and then go back to whatever we...
Right. Yeah, which, you know, there's pros and cons to that approach, but I like to see at least something being done rather than gridlock, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the Thai government's like a startup company, you know? It's like, come on, we got to fail fast. We got to pivot. Except Thailand as a country is not a startup.
Oh, this is starting to sound like a meeting in the Thaiger conference room.
Yeah. Wait a minute. It all makes sense now.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Thailand is basically run like it's an early startup.
That is a very apropos metaphor, I think. Like, that's well said, my friend. We are certainly cycling through CEOs like crazy. So, that is par for the course there.
It just all makes sense now.
Yeah. That adds up. I'm not going to see it any other way.
There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those are some of the stories from across Thailand today. You can find more stories on thetiger.com or join the conversation at
ASEANnow.com.
That's Thailand's largest English news forum.
That it is. And don't forget, you can become a member here, guys. People like Danny Fan, Damian Jesser, Mojo, whoever else is here in Wayne Lesponse, I believe, as well.
Danny
Gotta shout out our members that make this show possible. There's plenty of other members that just don't come to the live show.
Pipes.
And don't forget, this is a live show. You can join us every weekday at 9:30 and be a part of the conversation with our lovely live audience. Yes. Thank you, guys. We'll be with you again to round out the week tomorrow. And for now, we're going to dive into the live chat and see what you guys have to say.
Namaste.
If you like that story, please like and subscribe. And for more Thailand news, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok at The Thaiger, or you can go to thetiger.com and join the conversation.